It is certainly important to have opportunities such as the one today, and I'm very grateful for the Contact project to have organized this symposium. It is important to raise awareness across audiences, and I think one of the goals of the project is exactly that, and to do it in a region where the phenomenon of disinformation is particularly felt as a threat due to various forms of foreign meddling. The discussion today has brought to light the challenges that we are facing both in the area of political advertising and as well as in other areas, like how to better understand the digital space and the various forms of manipulation that bad actors are increasingly using in order to distort public opinion. What is at stake, it is our democracy, it's the credibility of our institution, is the future of the policies that should support growth and inclusion in Europe.
The key takeaway from our discussion is to understand whether laws that were written in the 20th century regarding campaign finance and the regulation of online political advertising actually are fit for purpose in a world where most of the political messaging happens on social media. And the code is a good step in the right direction to create some form of accountability and transparency on online political advertising, but now we actually need to go further to see how it applies within a national context and how the Commission can actually help to improve it and to ensure that those that advertise and those that pay for it actually respect the limits that set in the national law.
It's very important to look at the electoral integrity when it comes to disinformation. Disinformation is nothing new. It has been here for many, many years. I believe it's only an old wine in a new bottle. It's the means of how you spread disinformation that is what changed. What we need to ensure is to have enough tools to be able to detect this disinformation, to understand how it is amplified, but most importantly, to understand what sort of impact it has on electoral integrity.
The main conclusion, I think, is that you need to work together, multi-stakeholder approach, where public-private sit together around the table and discuss the issues they see, define common approaches, and overlook the differences to create cooperation.
Several interesting points. We got into discussion on, I would say, division, ethics, regulation and innovation. Does regulation and ethical consideration obstruct innovation or not? We had several different opinions within the panel and in the audience. One of the major points here is that there is expectation that GDPR can bring a lot of good to the process of facilitating innovation through good legislation. There is a positive feedback we received here from the audience saying that people foresee the recent or late GDPR as a good development, something that European Commission and Europeans can be proud of, something that is looked up to, and definitely we would like to see and work close to the Commission to developing those legal frameworks further, also to ensure enough flexibility and universality. One of the topics discussed today was emerging media like virtual reality and immersive media, which are just behind the corner. They would require different type of regulation. They bring new challenges in terms of digital identity, and we need a very flexible framework that will also cover not only the media available today, but also the media of tomorrow. Last point, digital identity. Part of the discussion was devoted to what digital identity is. We elaborated on different layers of digital identity. The first layer is the natural one, which we know. Basically, whatever I put online, whatever I put on my social media profile, this is public. I have control over it. I can delete it. I can decide to hide it from some individuals, from some groups. But there is another layer of which is bigger, a digital identity, which deals with what is inferred about me, which follows me, which is like my shadow or my ghost. So basically, this is all the data that is gathered around me, and it's shared between platforms and compiled and combined. And it's an image of myself that I have no awareness of and I have very little control over. So what we would like to see in the future is to have more transparency in this field too, so that the platforms are more explicit on what the data is gathered around us, about us, so that if some inferences are not necessarily correct in our mind, we still have a right to correct it or remove parts of it. so that our digital identity, which is understood here in a broader sense, not only about the data we put, but also the data that is inferred about us from the outside, is relevant to us and really reflects who we are and what do we expect.